Hi guys, today we're going to be reading The Lonely Scarecrow by Tim Preston and illustrated by Maggie Keene. Before we start reading this, I would just like you guys to answer, what is a scarecrow? What are they used for? Who builds them? Where do they put them? And why do they put them there? Answer that and then we will get started. Alright guys. In the middle of a field, under the sky, the color of cornfields, stood a scarecrow. He had a scary face, but a kindly heart. More than anything, he wished that the animals and birds would be his friends. But the creatures of the field were afraid of the scarecrow's flapping coat and big black hat. They were afraid of his beady eyes, his crooked nose, and his jagged metal mouth. In the spring, the scarecrow watched the animals play at the edge of this field. He watched the birds as they made their nests. He watched the carefree tumblings of fox cubs and rabbits. He listened to the noisy ducklings by the old pond. And all the time, the animals watched the scary scarecrow, but never came near. Before I start reading this page, I just want to shine light on something. It's called personification. And personification is defined as giving an inanimate object human-like features, or an object that's not alive, human-like features. Before I read this page, I just want you guys to really carefully listen and see if personification is used on this page. Each day, the swaying wheat in the field grew taller. The scarecrow lost sight of the animals. He lost even the happy song of the lark, drowned it out by the whispering of the wheat. Marooned in his golden sea, the scarecrow lost hope of ever making friends. Then the cobweb monster came to harvest the wheat. The animals hid from its churning jaws and the ragged acres of mud and stubble that it left behind. They also hid from the scarecrow, who stood alone, now in an empty field. Before I go on to the next page here too, I would love for you guys to define the word ravaged here. I'll give you guys a second to do that, and then we will move on to the next page. Okay. From the north came a sly breeze that stole the leaves from the trees and the light from the days. The animals hurried home to their warm burrows and cozy nests. And the scarecrow felt even lonelier, for he knew that the winter was coming. Snow fell heavily one night and kept on falling. It fell on the bare, still woods and on the silent fields. Slowly, it covered the ground where the scarecrow stood. In the morning, the animals woke to a world that had changed. A thick blanket of snow covered the frozen earth. The scarecrow seemed to have vanished, too. In his place stood a jolly snowman. The creatures played happily in the field, rolling and tumbling in the snow around the scarecrow. And the scarecrow? Well, he was cheerful and bright as the sunny winter day. Although he was happy, the scarecrow was afraid of what would happen when he lost his snowy coat. He was afraid that the animals would shrink from his twisted shape. Most of all, he was afraid he would be alone again. And then the snow began to thaw. The snow slipped off the scarecrow's shoulders and dripped from the brim of his hat. When the last patches of snow fell from his face, the animals looked up in wonder. Could the friendly snowman be the same scary creature they had feared for so long? As the warmth of spring stirred the brown earth, the scarecrow felt a bird peck at his hat and a mouse nestle under his folds of his coat. And the scarecrow knew that he would never be lonely again. Alright guys, that is our book for today. I just have a couple more questions before we leave. Have you guys ever felt like the scarecrow at the beginning of the book? Lonely, just wanting to make friends? And my next question is, were you guys surprised that the animals didn't run from the Scarecrow once all the snow melted from it? Again, I really hope you guys like this book as much as I did, and have a great rest of your day.